All right. Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? I am super excited today. We have Shreyansh Surana on the call, and yeah, really excited. Is one of the latest and newest partners at Potion, and yeah, can't wait to build awesome things with you, Shreyansh. For those who don't know you, do you want to give a quick introduction?
Yes. So, everyone, this is Shreyansh. My entire career has been in marketing operations, revenue operations. So that's my role. We work with a lot of clients on their revenue operations, setting up the right stack. And then that's where we need partners like Kannad because things are changing.
Yeah.
And tools like Potion are really needed right now. So this partnership, I'm really looking forward to, Kannad. So
Yeah,
yes.
same. When we initially started talking, like in my research, I was looking into like the content that you guys are producing, and the like fractional CMO's blog is probably the best uh, content repository that I've come across in a long time. I would say even it's even better than like HubSpot's like own blog because the
Oh,
breakdown of the actual posts and like the value that you provide through each post is it's so insanely good. It's very in depth, like very thorough. So kudos on building that. Yeah, and thanks for building that.
yeah. It
uh,
took us a
cool.
lot of time. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I can see that. Like it's yeah, you can clearly see that you've put in time and effort into that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that your career was in RevOps and marketing automation. So, what inspired you to build a healthy career in marketing in the first place?
So, funny story. I started my career into sales, and I was doing sales for almost 2 years, where I was doing more of an SDR role, setting up the meetings and setting up the conversations. That time it was not this organized. Like I'm talking way 13, 14 years back. It was not this organized, or there were not defined playbooks for SDR roles and BDR roles. I did that for a couple of years, and my biggest challenge used to be system. Where is data? How do I get that? And that's where I started. Maybe it's just um, I started feeling that, hey, there has to be like kind of a way where we can do this in a better way, like in terms of integrations, in terms of tools, in terms of data.
Hmm.
So that made me look into operations, marketing operations. That's also was not that well defined that time.
Yeah,
So, and I started doing smaller projects, learning on marketing operations, and then that kind of just stuck to me. Like this is so good because I feel marketers are always challenged with things getting stuck,
yeah,
operations by sales and marketing and customer success. So yes, that's where I feel that was my sweet spot. I really wanted to solve those problems, and I entered marketing operations. So I just moved my career from sales to marketing operations, and that industry matured. I went along with that, and then it is now a revenue operations role.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. It's actually very gradual and like kind of makes sense looking back, connecting the dots, kind of a progression. Awesome. From your early career days, or even like when you switched from sales to marketing and RevOps, do you have any like advice or memorable advice from your early mentors that you live by, and you can share?
Oh yes, I think it would be cliche to say, but I feel one thing which is very constant in sales, marketing, and customer success or a revenue operations environment is that nothing is constant. Things keep on changing. If you're not adopting to new technology, like this whole new AI thing, right? It's completely changing the landscape.
Yeah,
And if you don't adopt to it, if you ignore it or not kind of understand what it can do for you, how it can add value, you're going to miss the train. So
yeah,
that's the biggest thing I feel. Um, I don't know if you follow a lot of these gurus who put marketing automation kind of landscape. technology landscape. Scott Brinker is one. So when I started my career in marketing automation, there were around 500 to 600 tools available, different applications. Now I think it is more than 10,000. So so it's crazy. And if you don't adopt the best of these tools and give it to the right application or do it properly in terms of execution, you are going to miss a lot of things because your consumer is changing, everything is changing there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. If you're not on
so
top of
nothing is
change,
constant.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you. Even like as a startup or any kind of business, like if you're not adopting the newer, not necessarily trends, but like tectonic shifts, then it's really difficult for you to like compete. Uh, doesn't matter if you're a new company or an old company. Yeah, it stands true for everything and everyone as a professional. Um, so we do have like real honest conversations like on this podcast. So both of us come from like somewhat of like an introvert slash like laid back personalities, right? So that doesn't lend well with the cultures that we live in for marketing, sales, what have you, right? So those folks are like outgoing, extroverted. um, so what's your approach, or like rather leadership approach, to inspiring your team as coming from like a laid back introverted person?
One thing which I try to learn myself, and I always push that in my team also, is to one, let's start thinking, like embedding this in your system, that you are not selling, you're not marketing, but you are talking to people. Those are human beings. Let's talk in that way. You don't meet a friend and start messaging something or pitching something, right? You need to understand why you're talking to that person. You need to have a common point. And if it is not there, it's better not to do this conversation.
Yeah.
Similar way, I think that's where this whole introvert and thing can be kind of worked around when you understand that you're talking to people and you need to be real with them. So same thing. When I pitched into, because I sell to sales, marketing, and customer success folks, when I talk to them, my goal is to first understand what their problems are, what inspires them, what motivates them, what makes them happy. And if I can be a part of that journey, I am good. If I am not, it's better I do not waste their time. So that's kind of an approach, rather than saying that, no, I can do everything what you want. That doesn't work anymore, because sales and marketing has to be done with human approach rather than just going by the books on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely fair. Cool. Let's pivot a little bit. I think I mentioned earlier as well, like the blog that you guys have is mind-blowingly awesome. One of the blog posts that you had was about getting the fundamentals of your HubSpot setup right. So what are some of the top 3 to 5 things that B2B startups need to get their basic HubSpot setup properly done?
I have that checklist already there, but rather than going through the checklist that is always there and that always helps when we do these implementations, we religiously go by those checklists. But beyond that, I think what you need to start when you think about any system, be it HubSpot or any other CRM, marketing automation, or or a system which you're building up for sales and marketing, let's first think about the 0 day. Like, if you don't have anything, what will you do to make your process, or what will you do to achieve your goals? And then you do a back calculation of it. Like, then you move backwards and figure out, okay, I need to reach here. Then what is the next step? And then what is the step prior to that? And that's how you do not start. One is, do not start assuming that, okay, like for example, lead scoring. Do not assume that the lead scoring, what you build today, is going to be same next 2 months. So build systems which can be easily changed based on your external changes. Also, it can change as per the process and people change. That's important. Second is, I think biggest thing which I have learned in HubSpot side is make sure everybody is trained properly on it. What happens is you build an amazing system, but the user is mentally not ready to adopt it. is not properly trained on it. And then what happens? They start using it and the system completely messes up because they are not using with the right training. So training your team and buying in that, okay, they are going to use it in their day-to-day life the way it is meant for, be it HubSpot or any system. A good thing is with systems like HubSpot, it's so flexible. So you can build it the way your team is going to actually use it. It doesn't bind you in a frame. So yeah, those are the key things. Otherwise, data structure is very important technical wise. So you need to keep first architected properly on a paper and then start building rather than building and then doing things there.
Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely fair. In HubSpot or any of the other tools like Marketo, Klaviyo, do you have any tool within these ecosystems that's like your favorite tool, like the most underutilized tool that you like, okay, this is something awesome that people should use more of it? Do you have any of those off the top of your mind?
Not just because I'm talking to you, Kannad, but I think Potion is going to be one.
Yeah.
I feel very strong about it because that has been one of my challenges inside a marketing automation system for a long time. I have been thinking of breaking that barrier of how I can make video audio pitches scalable.
Yeah.
And scalable in such a way that my sales team doesn't feel that they have to put so much time. That's the biggest challenge or pushback by sales when they take up new tools.
Yeah.
And I think when we ran the first test campaign with Potion, it was such an easy journey.
Yeah.
So I feel that's kind of a tool I am looking forward to. There are other AI tools which are coming up. Those are, I think HubSpot itself is building a lot of AI tools inside their own system. So those are going to be like anybody assisting you in an AI engine environment, assisting you to do your things better is going to work in that ecosystem. So Potion is one, AI chatbots, what Dharmesh and other folks are building in HubSpot is great. So yeah,
awesome.
That is.
Thanks a ton for like the kind words. I really appreciate it. Now the pressure is on us. Like we have to make sure that we deliver.
Yes.
And like the reason we started this was I think we share the same ideology when it comes to, okay, we know video works. I personally have experience on like when you send somebody a personalized video, they're way more likely to engage with you, but you can't scale that approach. That was like the germination of building Potion in the first place. So I'm glad that we have like the same wavelength when it comes to that. But we don't want to talk about Potion on this podcast. So let's turn back to you a little bit. Some of the top metrics or tracking systems or KPIs that B2B startups don't utilize properly, or some of them that provide revenue predictability. Do you have any of those top metrics that you live by?
Yes, I think one which across the industry, across the revenue operation leadership is also talking about is let's not focus on vanity metrics rather than connect everything to your revenue. And I would just add, I am not seeing too much of content around it, but I would add revenue operations and customer experience in some way together. It should not be just revenue operations. It should be revenue goals along with customer experience. If both of them are in a top-notch way or it is just delivered in the right way, is what I think is the biggest KPI.
Okay.
Now, rather than saying that how many deals we close, how much revenue did we bring? Along with that, look at your customer experience also. Connect that to it. Is your customer adopting more of your tool and things like that? So yeah. You can bring those KPIs there.
Yeah, amazing. So I've been battling with this as well. I don't think we've cracked the nut on this either. But the way we look at customer experience is what's the onboarding rate? So when somebody signs up, how likely are they to actually reach the aha moment from our definition? Then we have like usage retention, which is different than revenue retention. So how frequently do they use the product?
Yes.
For how long? when do they taper off? When is the retention curve like climbing up? The third one is referral rates. Fortunately enough, we have like a third of our customers come from referrals. Like they tell their friends, their clients, their customers, and the word spreads, which is a really healthy referral rate. The fourth one, which is the biggest one, is we needed to define a value metric. So like, how do we make sure that when you send videos, it is actually driving value for your business? So we have a watch then click rate. It's essentially like we look at if sent videos were watched and what is the likelihood of the audience uh, going to your either lead magnet or CTA button or book a demo, whatever your CTA is. Is there a likelihood of that? So the 3 or 4 metrics we look at on the customer success side. But again, like I may tap on his shoulder every now and then to see how we can connect that with RevOps. So it's a, yeah, I hear you on that.
On that note, I'll tell you like what we do in during the operations side. One of the KPIs which I'm trying to capture is difficult to capture, but I'm trying to capture is how much time did we save for a marketing or a sales leader? Because that much time he or she can put on strategy. So we are trying to figure out if we can on a month end send a report to a marketing leader and saying that, hey, we saved 40 hours of your time this month by doing the operations correctly.
Yeah.
So that kind of a KPI we are trying to build.
Yeah. Awesome. One other cool thing that I learned from Nick Cosman is when this is especially applicable when you pitch your products and services is you ask them like, okay, let's say for outbound, how many emails are you sending? How many demos are you getting? What's your ballpark revenue? That tells you if you're sending 1,000 emails and getting 100 replies and 10 demos, those 10 demos are booking you say 100K in deals, which means one single demo is worth $10,000. Now, if by subscribing to Potion or fractional CMO services or any other tool, if we can increase that 10 demos booked to 12 or 13 or 15, that's literally tangible value that you can extract without ever running a pilot for 3 or 4 months. So that's like looking backwards, like going back to your initial point, like, okay, this is where we are. How do we work our way backwards to see what channels are, what levers we can pull? Cool. Yeah, it's I really love doing this like reverse engineering type of math type thinking. But let's come back to you again. For 2023 was like really heavy on AI. I mean, 2024 is also looking to be very heavy on AI. What are some of the trends that you're looking forward to in 2024?
I think one of the things which, again, I may not have the entire research done, but what I feel is voice and AI is still gearing up to what text and AI has done. Like you have like chatbots and you have generative AI, but how does voice enabled services on AI can be there? Like, for example, I was yesterday night thinking about a tool and just randomly, and I thought if there can be an AI tool inside HubSpot, which can convert my voice into a email text. So as soon as I open an email editor inside HubSpot and I'm typing, rather than typing, I'm doing something else, but I'm saying my text and the email. It's a old age, like it has been there. The service has been there. But if I can do that there and then the AI helps me make that pitch better inside I would save so much time. Cannot say because when I'm writing, I'm thinking a lot. When I'm talking, writing and saying an email, I'm very fast, right? So that's the conversation. Like those kind of, I think I see a lot of AI help can be there. Again, also, I'm not seeing too many, but if there can be a good solution for indicating the next best action, what we say, and we on your campaigns. Like we run a campaign. After that, what does your AI engine can tell you that yes, after this, 2 months after this campaign, run this campaign to follow up that campaign, because that can add really good value to your entire year's campaign. and bring a lot. Because what happens is we scramble. Marketers scramble across all what campaign to run.
Yeah.
But if you know after one campaign what your best action on that, I think that's something which I would love to see somewhere.
Very interesting. Like when you post this video, I'm really excited to see like what kind of comments people leave on this, because this is I'm looking forward to this in 2024 specifically for sales, but you're looking at it from a marketing perspective, right? So
Yeah.
It's really tedious to do this right now. You need human experience to actually understand, okay, like we have these insights from a campaign. Now we need to create X, Y, and Z. The target market resonated well with LinkedIn ads, Facebook did not work at all. This type of content works. So we need to strategize on, right?
Yeah.
So that still requires human intelligence and experience. But if there is an AI agent that can give you those insights, especially for like early stage startups, it would be incredibly helpful. Very cool. By the way, coming back to your speech to text on emails, I recently found this tool. This might blow your mind. It's called Voice In. It's a Chrome extension. And when you hit the button, it pops up like a speech to text thing that you can say it, copy paste in the email. There's the UX is slightly tricky because you still have to copy paste inside the email, and it doesn't polish up. Yeah. So I wish it was like inside Gmail itself, like it. I want to say or
imagine if it can be inside Gmail, HubSpot, wherever your sales is
everywhere. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Yep. And one other tool I really want is on specifically for HubSpot support. So training replies, like right now our support is email, Slack, HubSpot, chat, what have you. All of that, if as we actually reply, it learns how we reply and then starts crafting similar responses to similar questions.
Oh yeah.
That would be super, super neat. Even if it doesn't send them and just notifies our support team saying like, hey, we have already wrote a reply, tweak it, send it, that's fine as well. So that's something we might just build up for ourselves, and I'll give it to you when we build it.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Like way back, I used to think I was doing maybe around 70 to 80 webinars in a year. Way back when I was running programs in-house for companies. And after 70 webinar, I used to spend tons of time to figure out what my next year's webinar calendar would look like. But if there can be an AI which says, feed me the campaign details, and I will tell you what next to run and why that logic is there in a nice UI.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see right now there. There must be something which is out there, but yeah, I haven't come across.
Or somebody might be working on it already, because I know this is a problem. Yes. it sometimes just takes people to know that it's possible to do, and then people find a way to do it. We're almost at time, Shreyansh. I have one last question for you, very important. What impact do you want to leave in the industry?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
And it's okay if you don't have an answer as well. Yeah.
No, I think I always think about it, and I again strongly believe in two things. The reason why I'm saying why this is, we recently started our own marketing operations academy, and it's free for all. There's no paid. I'm never going to make a paid course there, but I think that's the biggest thing I can make as an impact is train more people to do revenue operations, marketing operations in a better way. Whatever my learning is, if I can put that into smaller videos, smaller courses, whatever way people can consume, like my blog, the entire idea is just give people, because the more folks come in this industry or this skill set, it is going to, because this is not going away anywhere.
Yeah.
Revenue operations is not going anywhere. It's going to stay. So we need more folks. There's a big gap right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. So you want to educate the world, whoever is interested in RevOps, do it the right way. Here's all the content that you need. Oh, amazing. We're at time, unfortunately. I feel like I can chat with you all day. But thank you so much for being on this call. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks a lot, Kana. This was exciting. And I really look forward to talk to you more, share more ideas with you. And I'm really looking forward to use Potion. I will again congratulate you on creating this platform. It's really looks great. I'll definitely come back with more positive reviews once I start using it extensively. But it
Yes,
looks
sir.
great.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Again, I'll hit the stop button.